This is the BMW i8. You probably already know that because this car has been out for a couple of years now. You also probably know the basics. Hybrid electric powertrain. 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds, can travel up to 20 miles on electric power alone, and it's all-wheel drive. But I bet you don't know all of the i8's crazy details. So today I've borrowed this i8 from a reader in Connecticut, and I'm going to show them to you. Then I'm going to take it for a drive and see if it's really worth BMW's $150,000 asking price. On the outside, most people know about this crazy hole that air can just travel right through. But did you know that there's a similar design underneath in the back? Some of the coolest features are the brake lights and the turn signal lights. But what's not so cool is the trunk space. Even though the entire hatch opens up, the trunk is confined to this tiny little area in the far back. One of the most interesting features inside the car happens when you're in sport mode. If you move the transmission lever over to sport and then decide, nah, I want to be in eco mode, and you press the eco button, the transmission lever just pops back into drive, like some unseen ghost is moving it. Here's another weird quirk. The window doesn't go all the way down. This is as far as it goes, with about 2 inches of window still remaining. So you can't really rest your elbow up here because it's really uncomfortable. Another cool thing, like most modern BMWs, the i8 has this touch controller pad in the center console. You don't have to scroll around and click on stuff. Instead, you can just write letters, and they appear on the screen. One of the biggest quirks is simply getting into the i8. The owner tells me you're supposed to sit down first, then slide your legs in, and then close the door. However, he also tells me there is no easy way to get into the back seats. So how do you get out of a BMW i8? Well, there's no traditional door handle. Instead, you press a button and the door just opens up. Then, the gauge cluster shows you a cool little picture to let you know that your door is open. There's also a second door opener in the rear half of the front door, maybe for the rear passengers or for emergencies, I don't know. Here's something else you might be wondering, because I know I am. Can you drive around with the doors up? Let's find out. You have to admit, it's kind of hilarious to see a vehicle that looks like this driving around with absolutely no noise coming out of any of its orifices. So the i8 has some very unique features, some cool and some weird. But how does it drive? Now it's time to get on the road and find out. Alright, we're driving the i8. I'm in sport mode, and the first thing you hear is all this engine noise. All of that is fake and it's piped in through the speakers. Man, listen to that, most of it is fake. Yeah, that's sad. I guess that's not really how a 3-cylinder engine sounds. But God, it sounds great, doesn't it? Ooh, it's quick. A little quicker than most of the 3 cylinders I've driven in the past. The ride is reasonably compliant, not too bad, not too rough. So I'm in sport mode here, and sport mode is mostly the gas engine, but also electric. The real key is that sport mode charges the battery. The owner told me he's only plugged it in a few times because he drives it in sport mode, and it just charges itself right up from that. I have to say, I feel like I'm in the future. Do you feel like you're in the future when you're driving this thing? The handling is nice and precise, it feels good. Let's try comfort mode briefly. It feels more than happy just to cruise at a normal speed. It's like, whatever, totally fine. A lot of exotic cars, especially ones that look this crazy, when you're going slow, you can tell they want to go faster. The Viper is like, come on, why are we doing this? Alright, let's give this a shot. See who ... Oh, that's more like it. That is quick. Damn, wow, that's impressive. Oh my god, the handling is great. It feels incredibly planted. There's of course no body roll at all. The transmission is insanely fast. Like you said, you don't feel upshifts or downshifts. They just sort of happen. Wow, that is crazily fast. It's amazing that the car we were driving around the parking lot 10 minutes ago with no noise at all suddenly becomes this monster when we re on the road. It's crazy. I love how the sound is. God, I hate to admit it because I know it's fake, but I love it. It sounds like a nice V8. BMW has won me over with their fake sound. You know, this car gets a lot of press for its technology and its powertrain, the plug-in, the 20 miles of electric range, whatever. Not a lot of people have talked that much about just how well it drives. I think that kind of gets lost in the shuffle with this car. But kudos to BMW for making this thing actually drive so well, in addition to being all these other futuristic technology things. Despite the fact that it has back seats and all this futuristic hybrid stuff, it actually is a pretty impressive sports car. It drives great. In a world where when you think electric vehicle, you think Nissan Leaf, this is like, no, you can actually have fun. So is the i8 worth $150,000? Absolutely. It's fun, it's cool, it's futuristic, and it's well equipped. But most importantly, before the i8 car enthusiasts had come to fear the rising tide of incoming electric vehicles. But the i8 and other cool electric cars like the Tesla Model S are proof that the future doesn't have to be boring. And it doesn't have to be ugly. Most importantly, there is a place for exotic, awesome sports cars and car enthusiasts in a world without big, loud gasoline engines. Thanks for watching.